Hello and welcome to episode 106 of the HamCorp Training Manual. In this episode, we go to Pluto to find the Tier 8 rocket schematic. We also mistakenly spend 12 hours blasting cosmic neutronium despite not needing to. We set up 3 cyclotrons to begin the hunt for a quantum anomaly, and finally, we make the UHV superconductor and energy hatch. I should probably start spending the xenon. So first of all, I'm going to update all of these blast furnaces, or vulcani, I should say, to use xenon instead of radon. That will bring the base blast time down from 268 seconds to 153. That's about 60% of the time. So that should be a lot quicker for neutronium, almost double the speed. That's pretty good. And I need to update all of these recipes to use xenon instead of radon. I'll get to work. Don't think I forgot about Gary. He is still hard at work. And he has discovered Starwort, a tier 12 plant that I think gives me nether stardust. That's pretty nice. There's also ender bloom, which I assume is ender pearls. There's also evil ore. I have no idea what this is. Oil berries, transformium, which is what I wanted. So this is very, very good. There's also space plant. So I got both. This one isn't growing, but this one seems to be able to grow to full size. So that is really nice. Once Gary is done with this auto tier run, I'm gonna have him level up this transformium to 21310. Nice. Gary is a very high returning investment. But now it's time to enter UHV. Now that we are officially in UHV, it's time to look at how to progress. Number 1, as always, is the new parts. So the UHV parts, they're pink. They are made from neutronium, samarium, nequadria, cosmic neutronium, and bedrockium. Bedrockium causes me a lot of pain. The emitter and sensor will also need gravistars and fluxed electrum coils. All of the scans are now research station scans. So overall, this is actually not too bad. It's just the neutronium and cosmic neutronium are a bit painful because they're very slow. UHV superconductor wire. This stuff is also going to need bedrockium, in addition to the ingots, which will ultimately be made from americium, tritanium, cosmic neutronium, and draconium. UHV energy hatch is actually not too bad once I have those things. The highly ultimate voltage coils are just made with tritanium and samarium, so it's okay. So that's part of what I need for the integrated ore factory. And the other part is this whole line of circuit fabrication. So I need to make bio mainframes, which are the UEV circuits. These are, of course, expensive. Actually, nothing new here on the left, but the fluids, there are 2 new fluids. So there's sterilized biocatalyst medium. This is made from fluid heating raw biocatalyst medium, and this is another bacterial vat recipe. This needs Tau Ceti E seaweed extract, which I'll come back to. Also, we're going to need mutated living solder. This is a chem plant recipe with infinity catalyst, gravistars, biocells, cryothium, bismuth plasma, and tin plasma. Also, we need botmium. We made the lorenium last episode, and we're going to need to upgrade once more to botmium. And it's a UEV craft, so we're going to need 2 UHV energy hatches. As for biocells, this needs the sterilized biocatalyst medium from before, along with stem cells and cosmic neutronium dust. This is all, of course, laid out in the quests. Starting here, the final frontier, it looks like I'm going to need to make the tier 8 rocket. Specifically, I need Tau Ceti E seaweed, and I'm not totally sure how to get this, but I assume it just grows on Tau Ceti E. So we're going to have to make a trip there, and that is a tier 8 planet. So I guess that's what I'm going to be working on. Simultaneously, I will also work on getting the UHV energy hatch, along with these parts. While I have these crafts going and researches and whatever, I'll go do the dungeon on Pluto. Oh, a lander. Pluto needs a lander. Man, I almost, if I wasn't paying attention, I totally could have crashed right now. Also, I like the colors. They look quite similar to that one picture of Pluto that we actually have from real life. Oh, that was quick. These fights are too easy. And boom, tier 8 schematic. Now apparently I can also find the draconic core schematic here. So I may as well do that. I'm going to go find another dungeon, see if I can get that, and then I'll see you back in the overworld. Second dungeon, second rocket schematic. Though it seems I am actually going to need this to research to make the shuttle schematic later on. So I'm kind of glad I did this anyway. But time to keep looking. Oh, finally. This was like the 5th or 6th dungeon. Man, I am out of here. Now, I've had a short look ahead, and I don't think I can do the tier 8 rocket just yet. Yes, I have the schematic, and yes, I can make all the parts. The problem is, I do not have enough TNT. Making the tier 7 rocket has absolutely demolished my TNT stack. I had like over 100k TNT, and it's all gone. I have 2,000 left, which looks like a lot, but it's basically nothing. And it is going to take a long time to build back up. So instead, what I'm going to do is I am going to make the electric implosion compressor, and then I no longer need TNT. This needs a minimum of UHV hatches, because the way this thing works is you have to use an energy hatch that is at least one tier lower than the recipe. So while this does support GregTech hatches, if I use, like, for example, a 64 amp UV hatch, it's not going to work, even though I can provide enough EU per tick. It has to be a UHV hatch. And there are some recipes later on that are even higher tier, and those need tier -1 hatch at a minimum. So I do need to finish the UHV hatches first, and then I can make the electric implosion compressor. This thing is not too expensive by itself. The 64 pistons is a bit painful, but that's fine. And the multi-block itself doesn't look too bad. Some blocks of neutronium, and some transformer winding blocks, which are dirt cheap. Alongside that, I'm going to start working on the quantum anomaly. That is going to require the compact cyclotron, and I think I'm going to make maybe 4 of these. They're fairly cheap for me at this point, and the way you get the quantum anomaly is basically a bunch of RNG checks, so the more compact cyclotrons I have, the better, and that will unlock some stuff for me. So that will unlock the advanced nitinol, which I needed before for a variety of reasons, and it will also let me make these containment casings, which are needed in the mass fabrication CPU, matter fabrication CPU, which is the multi-block mass fabricator. So really, I'm going to need 2 or more quantum anomalies. In addition to all of this, I am also juggling the space elevator parts. So this thing is very expensive, and I have slowly started gathering the materials I need. It needs a ton of UU matter, so I really don't think I can finish this before I finish the mass fabrication CPU anyway. So don't expect this episode, probably. But I will just talk about the kind of material costs involved here. So a ton of iridium and osmium, and a shitload of neutronium. Honestly, that's mainly it. There's also some Nequadria, a bunch of circuits, a lot of motors, a lot of pistons, a ton of UHV circuits. This might get a bit cheaper once I have biocircuits. I don't know if that's true or not. I guess we'll see. But it's mainly the neutronium that is my time gate here. As for new compounds, elements, it's just this high durability compound steel. So this stuff is very slow to blast. 450 seconds at IV with the xenon. Super slow. And this is made with materials we've seen before. So it's quite cheap, it's just very slow. And I'm happy to report, I've already done it. I've been doing this in the background, and I can actually make these 800 ultra high strength concrete floors already, but I'm still working on everything else. There's also quite a few scans involved, which I haven't done yet. These high power casings need LUV circuits as well. Yeah, the cost adds up. So I will keep working on this in the background, and I'll talk more about the space elevator once I can actually build it. But for now, I'm going to keep working on UHV energy hatch and the quantum anomaly. One more note about the superconductor UHV wire. Blasting the base ingots needs awakened draconium, which I don't have yet, and I don't think I can make yet. Normally this would seem like some kind of mistake, like it's not possible to continue, but that's not true, because every tier past MV at the electric blast furnace gives you plus 100 Kelvin. It's a subtle thing, but it matters here. So at UV, I think this is going to give me plus 600 Kelvin, and that'll bring the temperature of my electrum flux coils up from 9,901 to 10,501, which is exactly what we need for this craft. So I currently have a 64 amp ZPM hatch on my Mega Blast furnace, so I think I'll just swap it out for a 16 amp UV hatch, and that should be the same, but it will have a higher heat capacity, so I will be able to do this. It is mentioned here in the quest. You didn't need me to tell you this, but if you don't read quests, then that can be very challenging. So, back to work. So, to upgrade my Mega EBF, I also, unfortunately, need to upgrade the glass. Also, I don't think I showed this, but I decorated it just a little bit. To use UV energy hatches, I need at least osmium glass, but this is obviously insanely expensive. I need like 1,100 glass blocks to upgrade. Plus, I'm gonna do that, and it's just immediately going to be outdated because I'm basically about to get UHV energy hatches, which means I would need UHV glass, which is the neutronium glass. This is fine. It hurts because neutronium takes forever to smelt, but I can afford it. Even better though would be to use cosmic neutronium reinforced glass. This is the UEV glass, so this would be future-proofing just a little bit. Of course, it needs a ton of cosmic neutronium, so it's going to be a very long wait. But of course, to make that glass, I first need to upgrade my fluid shaper. This is still a UV, but this is a UHV recipe. So I need to upgrade to UHV glass, which is the neutronium glass, and I'm doing that right now. While I'm at it, I may as well upgrade again to the UEV glass while I can. It's only an additional 110 glass blocks, which is like 10% of the EBF, so I'll have to wait longer, but that's fine. This has been blasting for a long time, and it will continue to blast for a long time. In the meantime, I've made 3 compact cyclotrons, because making the quantum anomaly is a 3-step process. So you get the quantum anomaly from unknown particles, you get unknown particles from hydrogen gas plus hydrogen ions, and you get hydrogen ions from hydrogen gas. So 3 steps. I'm going to set this up, try to figure out how it works, and then I will explain it. Well, I did it. It is pretty simple, actually. It doesn't have any unique mechanics. I think it's a little less interesting than the beamline. Anyway, what I have here is the first step, and this one is running. This uses hydrogen gas, which I'm apparently out of, but it uses that to hopefully make hydrogen ions. And I think these just spawn as items, but to be honest, I'm not sure. It hasn't happened yet, but looks like this time it might succeed. It does create hydrogen ions as items, which is a bit weird, but okay. So these hydrogen ions are going to get extracted and put into this input bus. For some reason, this output bus doesn't auto push. I don't know why, but these hydrogen ions are combined with more hydrogen in the second comet that will make hydrogen plasma, which I'm just storing for now, but I can kind of use it, but I don't think I'm going to. But I get hydrogen plasma, I get protons, neutrons, electrons, and unknown particles. Protons, neutrons, and electrons are kind of useless to me at the moment, so I'm just storing them in a chest. But I will be using the unknown particles in the next comet, where it's combined with molten duranium, and I need to make some. But that has a chance at giving me quantum anomalies, which are, for now, just going to go into this chest. I don't think I'm going to have this running all the time, so I think just a chest is fine for now. All 3 of these are running at UV. These first 2 don't need to be at UV. You can run them at LUV, but the third one must be in UV. But I figured I may as well overclock, because why not? Now, hopefully, I get my quantum anomaly kind of soon, but honestly, I think it's going to take some time. I think it's more of a waiting game. I should have done this a while ago. Anyway, it's going now. I can get back to work on space elevator parts. Besides all of that, there is one last thing I want to make, and that is the turbo canner. The TurboCan Pro is the multi-block canner and multi-block fluid canner, so I'll need 2. But finally, I'll be able to get rid of the last of my HV single block machines. These have been here for a long time, and that will free up this whole space for something. I don't know what yet, but I think I would like to move my research station and quantum computer up here and kind of turn this into a lab. I think that would look pretty cool. But yeah, basically just trying to find some way to kill the time. I could also play other games, and I might. Guys, I have an insane revelation. So I'm nearly done with my cosmic neutronium borosilicate glass, and only now have I had the thought to scan my mega blast furnace, and it's already over the heat capacity. I didn't need to do the upgrade. So it should have worked this whole time. I didn't need to do this. I am glad I did, because I can upgrade to UHV hatches, but like, what a waste of time. Still no luck with the quantum anomaly, so this is gonna have to keep running for some time. I am going to replace these glass blocks with the cosmic neutronium ones because I have them, so why not? But yeah, I think at this point I kind of just have to wait for this to make my first quantum anomaly. In the meantime, I can make more UHV energy hatches because I had to double up on UV hatches quite a bit, and I don't like doing that. I'm going to make a bunch of UHV energy hatches and replace those while I wait. And I need to file a report with the Health and Safety Committee here because Skinny Bill's enclosure is not looking good. In fact, he's fallen down here. He'll be safe down there. This is what 12 straight hours of the Mega Blast Furnace will do to the local flora and fauna. Also, now that I have the UHV hatch, I can make the electric implosion compressor, and I will, because making bedrockium uses a lot of TNT. So, I still have a few random side projects to work on while I wait for my quantum anomaly, so I will get back to work doing that. Thank you for watching this episode of the HamCorp Training Manual. In the next episode, we will set up the electric implosion compressor, allowing us to craft bedrockium and rocket parts without TNT. After this, we will continue the hunt for a quantum anomaly. If that is successful, we will set up the multi-block mass fabricator, otherwise we will craft the Tier 8 rocket. The contents of next episode truly depend on RNG, which, as a RuneScape player, I believe to be good game design. See you next time.